Hey, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another spooktacular episode of the Pickles and Bacon Show. If you see what I did there, we are doing a Halloween episode where we are paying tribute to Houdini. I'm taking this one, that's why I didn't let Pickles talk because we'll be here all day. But other than that, I'm just kidding. So, but anyway, I'm gonna let her take it so she can introduce herself, and I'll be right back.
Hey everyone, it's Pickles here. We have a very special episode for you today. This is going to be mostly bacon centric. He is going to lead us on the show. So, Bacon, tell him what we're doing today.
Today, as I just said previously, hold on a second, Atashi, say hi, Atashi.
That's our producer.
So we are doing a episode about the legendary famous illusionist Harry Houdini. Real name was Erik Weisz. He died Halloween night of 19, I believe it was 26, in a hospital, which we will get to in a little bit. But first, we're gonna dive into some fun facts. First of all, tell me what you know about the Houdini movie starring Tony Curtis.
I know Tony Curtis and Janet Leigh were in there. I know the movie was made in 1953. I haven't seen. It's been a long time since I've seen the movie. And just know about the straitjacket trick and the milk can escape or whatever it was called, and that's pretty much it.
Right,
Oh,
right,
and
right. And
so sorry. And that he hated mediums and always wanted to catch them in a lie.
And there was something else that the movie talks about, which we're about to discuss, that didn't actually happen, but it was only dramatized for the movie. I believe that's the word, for lack of a better term, and that is the Chinese torture cell.
Yep.
Okay, so first, a little bit of a backstory. So I am going to Wikipedia. I'm not going to share the screen because it's going to mess up the computer, so I'm going to do it from my phone. So,
Mhm.
okay, so Erik Weisz, aka Harry Houdini, was born March 24th, 1874. Um, he was a Hungarian-American escape illusionist and stunt performer. And so, hold on a second because this cat. So, Houdini's first noted acts were in vaudeville. For those of you who don't know what vaudeville is, it's what started the careers of like the Marx Brothers, the Three Stooges, funny comedians like Laurel and Hardy, Abbott and Costello. They used to do these vaudeville acts, which were like memorization stuff and whatever. So if those of you who don't know too much, so we're just gonna dive right into it. So we're gonna start with one of my favorite tricks that we're gonna talk about from Harry Houdini, which is a trick that Penn and Teller do a lot, and it's called the memorization trick, where they will tell you something and they do this with a nail gun. Harry Houdini didn't do his with a nail gun; he did it with like numbers and stuff. He would have the audience write down stuff, write down numbers, and he'd say them back almost by memory. And so Penn and Teller do something similar to this, where they use a nail gun where Penn starts talking, and every time he finishes a sentence, he shoots the nail gun and air comes out. Now, something else that I think is fascinating is that Harry Houdini was also known for handcuff tricks. Now, if you know anything about Harry Houdini, he would always do 3 sets of handcuffs. And the first two are easy to get out of, and I'm going to tell you why, and I'm going to explain this. So if you don't want to know, flip off this part and come back. Okay. So for those of you that are still here, when you put one pair of handcuffs on, right, it goes right here around your wrist. Hard to come off, right? Hard to come off, like you couldn't get them off. The higher you go, the looser they are, the easier they are to come off. So when he would do 3 handcuffs, it'd be right here, so he could just slide them off and slide his fist through.
Nice.
Now, I'm gonna ask Pickles what she knows about Harry Houdini because I know she's seen some pictures and some stuff. So anything that you want to add that you might know about Harry Houdini that you want to throw in?
He did make. I do know that he did make a couple of silent films that I did see. But honestly, it was so long ago that I can't really remember what those films were. But I know that they had like magic and they had like a pretty girl in it or whatever. And I think one of them was also the milk crate trick or the milk can trick. I
Yes.
honestly can't remember.
Okay, so we're gonna delve into now. Before we delve into most of his magic, we're gonna go forward a little bit, and delve into him trying to debunk mediums. Now, for those of you who are unaware of this and don't understand what that was about, let me explain. So, Harry Houdini's mom passed away, when he was still doing his magic. So, he was doing an underwater escape, as a lot of you may or may not know, where he was in frozen water in New York City. And he said he'd heard his mother's voice calling to him, which is how he found his way out. 3 days later. 3 days. So he always wanted to get in contact with his mom because he never got a chance to say goodbye to her or whatever. So he would go to medium after medium after medium. And each time he would go to a medium, they would fake it, or they would have something where they were manipulating things under the table or something like that. And he would debunk all these mediums. So so somebody that we'll get into a little bit later on that we're going to touch on is Sir Arthur Conan Doyle. For those of you who don't know, he wrote the Sherlock Holmes books. Delving back into Houdini's magic side, one of my favorite tricks that Harry Houdini ever did was not actually the Chinese torture cell. It was the one where he's in jail and he's all chained up. That one was one of my favorite tricks. I still don't know how he did that one, but that one's really cool. If you don't know what I'm talking about, Google it. There's a whole video on it. As well as hanging upside down in New York City in a straitjacket, which is where Chris Angel got it from. So nothing about Chris Angel's real. By the way, nothing Chris Angel's done is his own shit. Chris Angel, I'm looking at you. Sue me for defamation, bitch. I ain't got shit. What you gonna sue me for? My cat?
Exactly. Sorry, the producers got to get in on all the action.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so also more back to where I was at. So Houdini began his magic career in 1891, but had little success. He appeared in a tent act with strongman, I think that's Emil Giro. Emil Giro. He performed in a dime museum and sideshows, and even doubled as a wild man. That's mentioned in the movie.
I remember that. I
That's
vaguely remember that part in the movie because I think there was a lot of makeup involved in that.
yes, and that was for a circus show, which he really did do. That's true. And then it says Houdini focused internally on traditional card tricks. At one point, he billed himself as the king of cards, which is interesting because a certain magician who I just named calls himself the card king, which, bitch, you ain't shit. Bitch, you ain't shit. Sorry, Chris Angel, I'm still talking about you, motherfucker, you ain't shit. Okay, that's enough of that. I'm gonna quit hating now. I'm gonna quit hating. Where was I? Where was I? Oh, okay. So some, but not all, professional magicians would come to regard Houdini as a competent but not particularly skilled sleight of hand artist, lacking grace and finesse required to achieve excellence in this craft. As soon as he began experimenting with escape acts. So basically, for those who don't know, and to simplify it, to dumb it down in other words, sleight of hand is something like when they got you focused on one thing over here, the real trick is happening over here, if that makes sense.
Makes total sense.
Now, Pickles is so quiet over there. I don't know if she's muted or something. I don't know. Okay, so in early 1890, Houdini was performing with his brother, Dash Theodore, as the brothers Houdini, which is not true. They were the Houdini brothers first. This is also not mentioned in the movie, but it is a historical fact because if you watch all documentaries of Houdini, they'll tell you that fact that they were the Houdini brothers, not the Houdini brothers. Where was that? Okay, performed. Okay, and then it says the brothers performed at the Chicago World's Fair. Chicago. Where do I know Chicago from? Eh. You're muted. You're muted.
I'm trying to show this picture, but I don't think my phone. Oh, it's cutting in the background. There we go. Wait, there we go.
That's
That
him.
is
That's
Houdini. Look at his face, though. He's like mean mugging for the camera.
Okay, so it's in 1893, before returning to New York, and working at the Heber-Dime Museum for near starvation wages. Excuse me. In 1894, Houdini met fellow performer Walmania Beatrice Bess Rancher, which would later become his wife. And what a name!
Mm-hmm.
Bess was uh Bess was internally wait internally courted by Dash, but she and Houdini married, with Bess replacing Dash in the act, which became known as the Houdinis for the rest of Houdini's performing career. Bess worked as hold on, y'all. I'm sorry. This light is so messed up I can't even see anything. Worked as his stage assistant. Okay, and then this is Houdini's big break came in 1899 when he met manager Martin Beck. Doesn't that sound like a freaking singer, Martin Beck?
Yep.
In St. Paul, Minnesota, Minnesota. Sorry, I had to.
Minnesota.
And okay, wait, St. Paul, Minnesota. Okay, impressed by Houdini's handcuff act, Beck advised him to, excuse me, to concentrate on escape acts, and booked him on the Orpium vaudeville circuit. I said Orpium, not opium. Get your minds right. Yeah, I see y'all in the comments. He said opium. I didn't say opium. I said Orpium. Get your minds right. But if you selling, I'll buy. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
No, he will not. Absolutely not.
I'm just kidding. Where was I? Vaudeville circuit. Within months, he was performing at the top of vaudeville houses in the country. In 1900, Beck arranged for Houdini to tour Europe. After some days of unsuccessful interviews in London, Houdini's British manager Harry Day helped him get an interview with C. Dandis Slater, then manager of the Alhambra Theatre. He was I don't know how to pronounce it. I think I'm pronouncing that wrong. So y'all in the UK, I'm so sorry. He was introduced to William Melville and gave a demonstration of the escape of handcuff escapes at the Scotland Yard. At Scotland Yard, he successfully. Excuse me, y'all. I can't talk for shit. I can't talk to save my life. He successfully. Excuse me. He succeeded in baffling the police so effectively that when he booked at the Alhambra Theater for 6 months, his show was an immediate hit, and his salary rose from 300 a week to what would equivalent to $10,987 this year in today's
Nice.
times.
Nice.
In today's times. So between 1900 and 1920, he appeared in theaters all over Great Britain performing escape acts, illusions, card tricks, and outdoor stunts, becoming one of the world's highest paid entertainers. He toured the Netherlands, Germany, France, Russia, and became widely known as the Handcuff King. In each city, Houdini challenged local police to restrain him with shackles and lock him in their jails. In many of his challenges, he was first stripped nude and searched in Moscow. He escaped from a Siberian prison transport van, claiming that he had been unable to free himself. He would have had to travel to Siberia, where the only key was kept. Now I don't know if I'm pronouncing this right, so excuse me. In Cologne, COLOGNE.
Yeah, I think so. I don't know. I'm not an expert on I think it's cologne for the most part.
In Cologne, Houdini sued the police officer Warren Drifts Griffiths, who alleged that he made his escape via bribery. Houdini won the case when he opened the judge's safe. He later said that the judge had forgotten to lock it. With new found wealth, Houdini purchased a dress. Wait, Houdini purchased a dress said to have. Hold on a second. Oh, a dress he had sent to Queen Victoria. He then arranged a grand reception where he presented his mother, excuse me, in a dress to all their relatives. Houdini said it was the happiest day of his life. In 1904, Houdini returned to the U.S. and purchased a house for $25,000 in that time, or 25. Yeah, it's thousand, right? Because the three threes, because it's 25-000.
Yes.
Okay, equivalent to what would today be 8847-778. Y'all do the math. I don't know numbers. I'm sorry. So y'all are probably like, oh my god, this motherfucker's stupid. I'm not stupid. I just don't know numbers, and I don't know these big numbers like that. So in 2023, a brownstone at 271 West 113th Street in Harlem, New York City. Okay, so that was the address of the house that he bought. And it says, while on tour in Europe in 1902, Houdini visited Bolus with the aim of meeting the widow of Emile Hardin, the son of Eugene Robert Houdin. Houdin? Okay, which is the guy's name. That's another guy that they're talking about. For an interview and permission to visit his grave. He did not receive permission, but still visited the grave. Houdini believed that he had been treated unfairly and wrote a letter wrote a negative account of the incident in a magazine, claiming he was treated most discontently by Madame W. Amelia Robert Houdini. God damn these people with these fucking names. I can't even read these fucking names. In 1906, he sent a letter to French magazine. I'm not even gonna attempt to read this one because I cannot read this damn name to save my life. Stating, you will certainly enjoy the article on Robert Houdin I'm about to publish in my magazine. Yes, my dear friend, I think I can finally demolish your idol, who has long been placed on a pedestal that he did not deserve. In 1906, Houdini created his own publication on the Conjurer's Monthly magazine. He was a competitor for Sphinx, but was short-lived, and only 2 volumes were released until August of 1908. Excuse me, magician historian Jim Stenmeyer has noted that Houdini cannot resist using the journal for his own crusade, attacking his where was I? Attacking his rivals, praising his own appearance, and subsequently rewriting history to favor his views on magic. Now, hold on a second. Let me say something here. If you're gonna talk crap on somebody, you generally have a point, because if somebody's trash, your background's bloodied.
I know, that's why I blurred it, because I'm trying to see if it'll show my thing that I wrote. All right, I'll work on that later.
What was I gonna do? Okay, hold on, y'all, because I lost my place. I forgot where I was at. Okay, so in 1907 and throughout 1910, Houdini performed with great success in the United States. He freed himself from jails, handcuffs, chains, ropes, and straitjackets, often while hanging from a rope in sight of a street audience. Because of imitators, Houdini put his handcuff act behind him in January 25th, 1908, and began escaping from locked, water-filled milk cans. The publicity of failure or death thrilled his audience. Houdini also expanded his repertoire with escape challenges acts in which he invited the public to devise contraptions to hold him. These included nail packing crates, sometimes lowered into water, riveted boilers, wet sheets of wet sheet mail bags, and even belly of whales that had washed up ashore in Boston. In Pennsylvania and other cities challenged Houdini to escape from barrels after they were filled with beer. Many of these challenges were arranged with local merchants, and one of the first and mass ties in marketing rather than promote the idea that he was assisted by spirits. He did as did the Davenport brothers and other Houdinis. Advertisement showed him making escapes via dramatizing, although Houdini himself never claimed to have supernatural power. Which is interesting because a lot of people who are Houdini historians, myself included, will say that there was some supernatural power about Houdini. Do I believe it? Not really, but I do believe that there was some trick to explain what he was doing. Because let me tell you something, even for the unexplained, it can be explained, like Bigfoot. I ain't saying shit, but I know where you can find a small foot.
We ain't talking about no damn Bigfoot right now because y'all know how I feel. I haven't said yet how I feel about Bigfoot, but like, we'll talk about that at a different time.
Okay, back to Houdini. So Houdini introduced the Chinese water torture cell at the Circus Busch in Berlin, Germany, on September 21st, 1912. Damn. He was suspended upside down and locked in glass and steel cabinet filled to overflowing with water. Holding his breath for more than 3 minutes, he would go on performing the escape for the rest of his life. During his career, Houdini explained that some of his tricks in books written for the Magic Brotherhood, the Handcuff Secrets, he revealed how many locks and how many handcuffs he opened properly with applied force. So basically, in that time, handcuffs weren't shit. Not like now where you couldn't escape. So basically, when they were made with a chintzy piece of like tin where you could and they would open.
Yeah.
Okay, so many locks and handcuffs he could open with properly applied force. Others with shoestrings. Other times he carried concealed lockpicks or keys. When tied down in ropes or straitjackets, he gained wiggle room by enlarging his shoulders and chest and moving his arms slightly away from his body, which explains the law. Okay, now we're gonna get into the meat of the potato because here's the part that y'all want to know about. So
That's our executive producer, Miss Rogue. She just got right up and what? She just likes to be all up in everybody's business. Look at her face.
She's like, oh, carry on. Don't let me interrupt you. Hold on a second. She's going to do the show now. She's going to do the show now. She's like, hell no. Okay, so back to this. So, as a lot of you may know, as I stated earlier, so Harry Houdini then kind of put magic behind him because he wanted to pursue trying to contact his mother. So when he was trying to do this, he would go to mediums who he would always debunk, and they would get mad at him. So one of the people that he debunked was the wife of Sir Arthur Conan Doyle, Lady Doyle, which I don't know why they call her Lady Doyle. Like, that's stupid. Her name sounds stupid anyway. Doyle. And so there's a story or a conspiracy theory that she sent the football player that essentially killed him. So Houdini used to do this trick where he would have people punch him in a certain spot in his stomach, and he would take the blow by saying he couldn't feel it. Well, without warning and without any preparation, this guy just hit Houdini out of nowhere, causing Houdini to collapse onto the floor. And then when he got up and acted like it was part of the trick, hold on a second, y'all, because here's the other one. Here goes the other one. Look, you'll know who it is by their tail.
Atashi.
Go ahead. Good job. That's what I thought. Where was I? Oh, okay. So they believe that Lady Doyle was the one that sent the football player who essentially killed Houdini. So when the football player hit Harry Houdini, he didn't prepare himself correctly, and it caused his appendix to rupture, which would essentially end up claiming his life from appendicitis on Halloween. That concludes that part of the story. Now, some fun facts about Harry Houdini, because I don't want to keep this too long. I can see Harley's tired. I'm tired. Like, I hardly slept. So to keep wake your ass up. So to keep this short, I'm gonna kind of keep this short and just say that one of my favorite tricks from Houdini, other than the straitjacket escape, sorry y'all, my nose is just other than the straitjacket escape, is the Chinese torture cell. Harley, or Pickles, anything you want to add?
I already said what I wanted. Mainly, this was your episode, so.
What?
Oh, is she okay?
She's fine. She just did a backflip and landed on the floor.
This was our little filler episode because I'm finishing The Hobbit, part 2 today. So hopefully
we were gonna watch the Houdini movie, but we didn't have it and we didn't buy it. So yeah, that's that.
Yeah, and I was like, we got too much to do today because it is Halloween. But other than that, is that all, Bacons?
That's all for me, but I just want to wish everybody a safe and happy and spooky and safe and spooky and happy Halloween.
Okay, you guys, bye. We'll see you later. We'll be back for The Hobbit, The Desolation of Smaug.
You want to say goodbye, Atashi?
Bye. Goodbye, Atashi. Goodbye.
Meh.
We'll see you guys later.
Give him a kiss. Blow him a kiss. Okay.
She's like, she hates